up? Welcome back. I'm traveling to Glasgow today. Let's go to the orchid show. This is the first one for me, so I'm super excited. It's also done by my Orchid Society, so I'll get to meet a lot of new people who I've seen through Zoom and stuff, but never actually met face to face. So I'm really excited. I had to look at the list of vendors, so there's not too many, but I'll show you everything. So hopefully it's going to be fun. Hoping to bring some new orchids, maybe some orchid supplies. So yeah, really excited about today. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. What's up? What's up? All right, we are in. So just so you know, I've got a few things and I'll show you at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. And we are going through the Scottish Orchid Society display. So their display was kind of right at the start when you come in. So the show is in the Botanic Gardens. So I showed you the entrance, which you might recognize from one of my previous videos when I visited the garden. So it's inside it. It was super hot in there. As you can see, it was a very nice shiny day. So honestly, the best day to come in and visit the gardens. So you can see all these beautiful blooms. There were so many. Honestly, it was quite difficult for me to film and then take some photos and kind of absorb, what's going on around me. So bear with me, but a lot of lovely blooms. I'm trying to show some names as well on the film. So I really love this orchid. I love the leaves actually, but yeah, couldn't really catch the name of that. So some lovely Phalaenopsis orchids and a zygo, I think, in the background. This Masdevallia is just unbelievable, and so many blooms as well. It looks stunning. This Vanda, I just love these little blooms, coming from the bottom as well. So very big variety of colors and plants. This Phalaenopsis is going on my wish list, honestly. I love that vibrant color. Oncidiums and a lovely Cattleya. So check out these blooms. There's just so many blooms on here. Wow, I'm amazed how well some people are growing these orchids. It's unreal. So yeah, I think that's a Zygopedilum as well. And then you've got this, I think it's a frag or a path, I'm not too sure, but really massive blooms on that one. And then this nice little hardy orchid, I think it's a Pleone, but don't quote me on that. And look at the show as well. Wow, so many spikes. So loads and loads of blooms. I couldn't even film them all, honestly. It would take me probably at least an hour just to film that one display. It was stunning. And then we keep going. So this is the Barnum Nurseries table. So they brought some really lovely plants, some paths, phals, dendrobiums. This one is very fragrant, really massive plant. We've got a Thai black, I believe, the Phalaenopsis type dendrobium. And then we've got loads of cymbidiums in the background as well. So really a lot of different orchids, really beautiful blooms, so vibrant. As I go, I almost brought home one of these, but I still felt like maybe I'm not ready to try a zygo yet, so I left it there. And then you've got a Cattleya type, really nice bright orange. So yeah, just this Masdevallia, if that's what it is, was amazing as well. Loads of Periodas. I've got one of those, so didn't have to take that one home, but that was lovely as well. And then this is their second table. It was really busy actually, so it was quite difficult to just film everything in one go, so I had to kind of cut it a bit. This Maxillaria coccinea, I love the blooms. I didn't realize it's blooming from like the base of the plant like that. I find it really pretty, and the blooms are so vibrant. And then we've got Prostechia garciana over here. I've got one of these, so yeah, at least, you know, a few plants I've got out of the what was on offer, so nice to see those. Yeah, just loads of big plants as well, so I was kind of struggling to find, you know, a plant that I would really like to get, because as you know guys, I'm really struggling with space, so I can't really buy big orchids. You know, I can really go with small ones, and yeah, I couldn't really see too many, at least not at Barnum's table, but still loads and beautiful plants, really nice and healthy, and amazing flowers, so I'm sure a lot of people found, you know, what they would be looking for. So yeah, really pretty. And then next up is Orchid Alchemy. So they are breeding orchids. Basically, if you've got seeds of orchids, you can send it to them, and they would, you know, grow them in flasks until they're ready to come out to send to you. Sorry, very short video on these ones, but again, they were super busy. And then this is a North of England Orchid Society display. Again, so all these orchids are basically the members' orchids. We've got a Psychopsis there. I always love to see Psychopsis, and some Vanda types. Again, just amazing flowers. They were all just so vibrant, and you know, so many, like such a big variety of different orchids. It's really beautiful. And then this one was Hinckley and District Orchid Society show, or display, sorry. Again, look at how many blooms. I mean, how do they manage to fit so many orchids on one tiny table? I don't know. It must have taken them forever to put it all together, honestly. So much effort. And again, I'm actually really liking all these kind of small flowers, but loads of them on one spike. I just think it looks amazing. And again, I didn't really manage to film all the names of all the orchids, but some of them I managed to catch. These Cattleyas are so tiny and so cute, and there is so many of them as well. It's really pretty. And then we've got East Midlands Orchid Society table. So lovely Pleone there in the corner. I think I'll come back to that. Phalaenopsis mannii. This is honestly one of my favorite phals. And then some complex hybrid phals. You can see a Cymbidium in the background, and then this Pleone. And then this Polystachya, like pretty little blooms. Really big plants as well, you know, like so many blooms on one plant. Look at this phal. How many spikes does it have? So yeah, I was really impressed, you know, with massive plants. Leptotis bicolor in the background over there. This Dendrobium in the background, oh my goodness, it was a stealer of the show. And then this is a Burlington's school's orchid project. So this is where the kids are growing orchids. Again, they had loads of tiny nice seedlings growing on. They had a few flasks as well at the end of the table, but you could just about see a glimpse of them. Not many blooms on this table, but I just love their idea. I spoke to them a bit as well about their whole, project. It's really amazing what they're doing. And then you've got Devon Orchid Society's table. Again, any of the Orchid Society displays are obviously, you can't buy any of these orchids. These are just people growing orchids in their collections, and anything that they had in bloom, they've brought in to kind of to show off. So really impressive, how some people are growing these orchids and how massive they are, and these blooms displays are just amazing. So really nice to see how people in the UK are managing to grow such pretty orchids, given that we barely have any orchids native to the UK. So most of these are definitely not local. So really cool. And that was the end of it. So I'm heading home with something in my bag. So let's have a look what I brought. I didn't buy a lot. As I say, my space is very limited. So there is an orchid in this bag. We will have a look at that later. Let me take something out. This is not related to to these purchases. And then, so I brought some orchid supplies. So I brought in some moss. I don't really use moss a lot, but I basically had nothing left, and I thought I'll maybe pick up a package of moss. It is quite useful sometimes, especially when maybe trying to recover some orchids. So I thought I'll get some more of that. And I've also got a bag of bark. So this bark here, you can see it's 5 liters, 8 to 12 millimeters, so it's quite a small grade bark, but it's perfect for me because my plants are quite small. So you can see it looks quite nice and clean, and you can see it is quite a small grade. But yeah, I thought this would be great for my plants. Majority of my plants are small, so I thought this will be perfect, and the size is quite good. It's more than enough for me. I think it will last ages. So yeah, let's have a look at this then. So as you can see, a tiny bag. I asked them to pack it really well since I'm traveling. So they said, they packed it just the same as if they were posting an orchid. So it should have come home safe in one piece. So let's see how it goes. So yeah, loads of packaging, really nicely packed. Almost looks like an empty pot. The orchid is tiny. It is a seedling orchid. So I got this from Orchid Alchemy, where I showed you, so they basically get seeds from different people who are pollinating orchids, and then they just sow them and keep them in flasks and grow them until they're kind of ready to come out of the flasks. And I think that they basically managed to keep some of these seedlings and sell them on their website. And so they brought quite a few into the show. So basically this one, there is potentially no other hybrid like this. So this is the only batch. So we don't know what the flowers would look like. But this one is Vanda alpina crossed with Rananthera vietnamensis. So it's supposed to be fairly compact. As you can see, it's so tiny. I'm actually gonna just put it back in the pot properly. You can see all the roots are kind of showing. I think when I was trying to pull the packaging off, I just kind of pulled the plant up a bit. So I'll put it back in the pot properly. But it's really nice and healthy. It's got quite a few leaves. So yeah, we'll see how it grows. I'm hoping it will, it will do well for me. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's really nice and healthy. We'll see if it adapts well in my environment, in my shelves. Hopefully it's not going to be too much light for it or anything. So yeah, fingers crossed. So that's all my purchases basically. But I had an amazing time in the show. I loved it. I'm hoping to come back next year. So yeah. I will also post some photos of the blooms from the show on my Instagram account, so make sure you check that out if you'd like to see them in more detail. But yeah, I love the show. I hope I could go to more, but given where I am location wise, it's quite difficult for me to travel down to England to the show. So probably the Scottish Orchid Society show is the only one I could go to. But I really loved it. Hoping to come back next year. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you've been in the show, if you're local here, or what kind of shows you've been to recently. But that's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!